Hi, it's April. Tinky Bell Nursery here. Tinky Bell Miracle Babies. I'm in the middle of painting and everything's going well. I always have trouble with lips, so I'm going to kind of show you how to fix your boo-boos. First of all, hi Kathy. I'm using the mixture you told me. I'm using the, what the heck was this called? Thick medium? No, not thick medium. Thin medium. I'm learning the different, I know there's all kinds of different things, and so I'm learning it. I think it was thinning medium. I'm using that with the mixture. I know that looks dark, but it does not go on that dark. Actually, it's a very light mixture because you blot it. It's funny how your thing expands greatly. But anyway, what I wanted to show, this is for Cat. I'm sorry, Cat. This is for you. What do you do when you make a little boo-boo? Now, when you make a big boo-boo and you know that it's absolutely, you can't live with it, it is so extremely bad, what you would do is take your acetone and strip it down, and or paint stripper, which you can get online, but I use acetone, and not the strong crap that melts your vinyl, the stuff from the fingernail polish remover. Okay, so you would have to strip everything down because you need your limbs, your head, your arms, everything to match. So if you was to strip one leg down, you couldn't get that coloring to match, so you'd have to strip it all down and wash it. So that's only for the big mess ups. But what do you do if it's just a little mess up? What do you do? This is what you do. I messed up on her lips. You guys can't tell because I've already started rubbing it down, but I have messed up extremely well on her lips. So what I would do is you take a soft washcloth. Now you're going to want two. I use a baby washcloth because it's softer than adults. I take two, one to dry it and one to do it. You take your paint thinner, and because this is extremely thin washcloth, I kind of fold it over a couple times. You take your paint thinner, which should be in one of these. How many minutes? Okay, look at me again. Okay, you take your paint thinner, which should be in one of these. I know that like Walmart and all that sells ones that look like this, but it's a ketchup bottle instead. That will leak your thinner all over and it'd be a nasty mess. You actually do need the one for painting is made for thinner, and you need one of these. Or some people in cases use a medicine dropper where they suck it in from the bottle and suck it out. I might even try some of that. But no matter what you're using, you take your paint thinner, which this is the paint thinner. You put a little bit on the washcloth. You can see it going on. Get a good amount, but don't like soak it because you don't want it soaked. And you'll take that and then you'll only rub the area that you screwed up on. And you'll rub it and rub it and rub it until you notice the paint coming off. And sometimes it don't completely come off, but it goes really thin where it's hardly noticeable. And it gives you that nice working area. You just do a little bit. Try not to only do the area which you want to strip. You want it to, you can't live with the little boo-boo. You do this. So I'm just working it right now. You can see the paint came off. And then what I do is I take the dry one and then I just kind of dry it off like this. Since she's a preemie, it's harder. You got to really try to get down into the cracks. And then if you notice that the details on her lips have paint in the cracks, you take your toothpick and you just go like this with the detailing and the cracks of her lips. You can use this when you're doing details if it looks like you got any paint, too much paint into the details. You just kind of go like this. And then you kind of just kind of rub it down. That's what the toothpicks are good for, is getting paint out of areas that you don't want paint in. And then I'll just kind of, sometimes I'll blow on it to get it out. And so that is how, whoop, you get your paint off. And this only works, can you look at me? That only works if you didn't paint, if you didn't heat set your doll. If you heat set your doll and you notice an area you don't like, but you've already baked your doll, you're gonna have to strip it completely down with acetone and wash it immediately. And the acetone I get is the fingernail polish, but 100% acetone. If you get the crap in the paint aisle, that's going to melt your vinyl and go eat through your hands. That's a big no-no. That's for actual painting. Shut up, Simon. How many minutes?
6.
So that is exactly what you do. So that's why it's very, very important before you bake your doll. Before you so much as bake your doll, I got a really bright light. Most people do it when it's sunny out, you know, when the sun is out. That most people do it in the daytime, but since my medical problems, I do it at night, so I do it by a lamp. So it's really important before you bake your doll, you just go like this, and you kind of check it over, make sure you're satisfied, make sure everything's looking good. Because the good thing about generous heat sets is if for some reason you're not happy, before you set that paint and bake it, you're able to take your thinner, as I did, and wipe it down in the small area and go like that, and you're able to have a fresh new start. What thinner does is it don't completely move it, like her lips. It didn't completely move it. What it does is thin it in so that it's barely noticeable because it is a thinner. So that's for the small mess ups, but if you have the big boo-boos, or if you baked it and you're not happy with it, then you're going to have to take acetone. You can't just strip a leg and then redo the entire leg, because you need the color to be right so that all limbs and head matches. So you would have to strip everything down. Don't be discouraged. There have been top artists that have to. Some of them strip them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times until they're satisfied with it. So if you're not satisfied with your doll, it's okay to strip it down until you are satisfied. I've had to do it, and other people have to do it. It's just a reality. It can be frustrating when you have to do it, because you're like, oh my god, I spent 3 weeks on painting this doll, and all of a sudden this big screw up makes me have to strip it and then redo it. But that's okay. I mean, it's bad, but it's better to do it and be satisfied with your work than to look at that work and not be satisfied with it. That's what makes you an artist, because you strive for perfection. So that helps you with the small screw ups, is the thinner. So if you have any question, Kat, ask me and I will be telling you. So far, how many minutes?
8.5.
So far, I'm going to take the camera from my husband, and I'm going to show you what I've got done. I am really happy, Kathy, with too many Kathys. You can't really see, but the nails are coming along great. Okay, well, it's because of the big light. I won't be able to show you guys. So yeah, so I'm mixing Kelly's paint with the thin medium that Mama gave me. Kelly gave me. And I have never used this before, and Kathy sent this to me. And then that's not as thick as you really think, because I blot it really good before I use it, and it's coming out really quite nice, actually. So, here. That's kind of what you do if you have big screw-ups and little screw-ups. It's very important to know this, because when I first started working with Generous, I was working with authentic paints. When I started first working with Generous heat set paints, I had a screw up on the bend kit, which is what I gave my mom. I had a big screw up and I freaked out. I went online, immediately someone gave me the tip to use a soft cloth, put your thinner on it, wipe it down. It won't remove it completely, but it will thin it so it's really transparent and can't hardly see it. It saved my day, and I can't tell you how many times it has saved the day. With the kitten kit, my husband accidentally bumped the table. Something happened. I can't remember. The green paint went on her a little bit. I thought, holy crap, I was freaking out, but I remembered this tip, and it saved the darn day. It really does save the day when you mess up. So that is the tip for today. I hope that taught you a little bit. I will be keeping this video up, cat, so that if you have to go, come back, you can. I'll probably call it mess ups or whatever. I don't know what I'll name it, but you can always come back and view it later. I hope that was a good tip for you all. Bye!